The silent visionary behind Apple's success, Tim Cook. One individual distinguishes out for his cool, collected leadership style in the consumer technology industry, where headlines are frequently dominated by exaggerated personalities. The CEO of Apple Inc., one of the most valuable corporations in history, is Timothy Donald Cook, often known as Tim Cook. Cook has subtly changed the definition of leadership in Silicon Valley, even while he lacks the flamboyance of his predecessor, Steve Jobs, and the unrelenting showmanship of many tech giants. Tim Cook has led Apple to unparalleled heights with a combination of logical thought, a strong moral compass, and an unrelenting dedication to Apple's basic values. Tim Cook was born in the small Alabama town of Robertsdale on November 1, 1960, and grew up in a modest, working-class household. His mother worked in a drugstore, and his father was employed at a shipyard. Tim showed early on the traits that would eventually characterize his leadership style: self-control, modesty, and a strong sense of responsibility. In 1982, he received his industrial engineering degree from Auburn University. He would later graduate in the top 10% of his class with an MBA from Duke University's Fuqua School of Business. Cook worked for IBM for 12 years, moving up the ranks in the company's personal computer sector before joining Apple. Later on, he was an executive at Compaq and Intelligent Electronics, but the choice he made to work for Apple in 1998 would shape the remainder of his career. Far from the digital giant it would eventually become, Apple was a struggling business at the time. The company was still struggling to survive, but the return of Steve Jobs as interim CEO had given it new life. Tim Cook stepped into this unknowable realm. Cook was appointed Senior Vice President of Worldwide Operations at Apple by Jobs at the time many questioned the hiring decision. Why would a rising leader join an almost bankrupt Apple after leaving Compaq, the leading PC manufacturer in the world? Cook, however, noticed something that others missed. He shared Steve Jobs' vision and saw Apple's special ability to combine creativity and technology. The first significant contribution made by Tim Cook was the redesign of Apple's supply chain. Apple's manufacturing procedures were cumbersome, costly, and ineffective at the time. Cook shuttered underperforming plants, cut inventories, streamlined processes, and mostly outsourced Apple's production to other manufacturers, mostly in Asia. These audacious actions not only reduced expenses, but also greatly enhanced Apple's capacity for timely product delivery and rapid innovation. Apple gained a reputation for operational excellence under Cook. The issue of succession grew more pressing after Jobs was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in 2003. During Jobs' medical absence, Tim Cook filled in as acting CEO and progressively took on greater authority. Jobs appointed Tim Cook as his successor when he stepped down as CEO in August 2011. Cook has always been more behind the scenes. So many questioned if he could step into Steve Jobs' visionary role. Cook, however, made no attempt to emulate Jobs. Rather, he introduced his own leadership style to Apple, which is more collaborative, less dramatic, and firmly based on his personal beliefs. He prioritized long-term planning, human rights, and sustainability. Apple flourished under his direction in addition to continuing to innovate. Apple, under Tim Cook, introduced a number of significant goods and services that have come to characterize contemporary technology. With the release of the Apple Watch in 2014, Apple entered the wearable technology market. Despite initial skepticism, the watch has grown to become the most widely used wristwatch globally and a key component of Apple's fitness and health agenda. A new era of minimalist design in consumer electronics was ushered in by Apple's 2016 release of AirPods, which revolutionized wireless audio. During Cook's leadership, Apple also made significant investments in services, including Apple TV+, Apple Music, Apple Arcade, and Apple Fitness+. Apple is now less dependent on iPhone sales thanks to these services, which have produced a strong subscription-based revenue stream. However, Cook's biggest achievement may not be a product, but rather the company's incredible financial results while he was its leader. Around $350 billion was Apple's market value when Cook took leadership in 2011. By 2024, Apple was the most valuable firm in the world, with a valuation of over $3 trillion. Its cash reserves are the envy of corporate America, and it's quarterly. Revenues and profits consistently set new records. Cook's legacy, however, is about principles rather than just money. In 2014, he came out as gay, making him the first openly gay CEO of a Fortune 500 business. "I'm proud to be gay, and I consider being gay among the greatest gifts God has given me," he said in his declaration. Numerous people worldwide were motivated by this momentous occasion. Cook made the declaration to provide those who were having identity issues a sense of recognition and support, not for the sake of celebrity or politics. Cook has also been an outspoken supporter of user rights and privacy. Under his direction, Apple firmly opposed government overreach, most notably in 2016, when it declined to provide the FBI access to iPhones through a backdoor. Cook has made privacy a central component of Apple's brand identity because he believes it to be a fundamental human right. He has also urged Apple to take the lead in sustainability. In an effort to make all of its products carbon neutral by 2030, the corporation has made significant investments in renewable energy. Apple Park, the company's Cupertino headquarters, is a testament to its environmental commitment and is powered exclusively by renewable energy. Cook has also stressed the need of ethics in international supply chains. Although there are still issues, Apple has made efforts to enhance working conditions at its suppliers and has removed conflict minerals from its manufacturing procedures. Cook's conviction that morality should always come before short-term financial gain has changed the way businesses see accountability. Cook maintains his modesty and privacy in spite of his accomplishments. He rarely appears outside of work environments and doesn't chase attention. His leadership style is defined by his preference for listening over speaking and his ability to empower teams rather than dictate to them. He is frequently characterized by Apple staff as serene, introspective, and intensely focused. Cook is renowned for his routine and discipline as well. He gets up at 4 in the morning to check emails from customers and keep up with user experience. He rarely attends ostentatious parties or events and maintains a quiet profile in his personal life. Rather, he devotes his focus to making deliberate decisions, coaching his staff, and refining procedures. Cook's most memorable moments were during the COVID-19 epidemic in 2020. Cook led Apple in moving manufacturing to build protective gear as workers faced health hazards and global supply networks were interrupted. Apple helped fight the virus by donating millions of face masks and face shields. Cook also provided assistance to workers and communities impacted by the crisis and put remote work strategies into practice. Apple has been remarkably stable under Cook's leadership in a rapidly evolving digital sector. Under Cook, Apple has stayed ethical, focused, and remarkably successful, while rivals have grappled with scandals, data breaches, or waning relevance. His leadership has, of course, not been without its detractors. Cook has been accused by some of making Apple too conservative by favoring small improvements over big ideas. Others raise issues with Apple's hegemony and control over the App Store, which have come under international authorities' scrutiny. Even skeptics, however, agree that Cook can handle difficult situations with poised accuracy. Not just what Tim Cook has created, but also how he has done it, is what really sets him apart. He has demonstrated the importance of patience, introspection, and quiet confidence in a field that is frequently fixated on disruption and haste. He has demonstrated that humility, self-control, and an unwavering commitment to doing the right thing are the keys to effective leadership rather than loud voices or dramatic flair. Cook's influence is still crucial as Apple develops further, investigating areas like augmented reality, artificial intelligence, and electric cars. He is without a doubt the architect of Apple's modern period, even though he is not the company's founder. Cook frequently sidesteps compliments and draws emphasis to his team during interviews. He views himself as a steward, someone tasked with leading a great organization toward an even greater future rather than a king. More than anything else, Tim Cook is defined by his sense of responsibility. Measure your impact on humanity not in likes but in the lives you touch, he stated during his MIT graduating speech in 2017. His leadership philosophy is summed up in the phrase, "Tim Cook brought Apple stability, ethics, and the scale to make a difference, while Steve Jobs gave the world the company's vision." One thing is certain as we move forward. Tim Cook's legacy goes beyond simply being Steve Jobs' successor. It's because he upheld his vision while creating his own, which enabled Apple to transform from a forward-thinking business into a worldwide institution.